Spiritual practitioners, listen up. We're going to talk about the end of the Pisces era. Neptune is about to turn around from its retrograde in Pisces, and it's almost done with its transit. Same with Saturn. Now, Neptune is a 14-year transit, and it's been helping us build up spiritual practices, intuition. As a society, we have changed how we look at spirituality, how we accept it, and how it's integrated into our world. Over the previous 14 years, like a lot, that has shifted so much. December 10th is when Neptune turns around and goes direct. And then January 26th of 2026, okay, the 26th of this year, good goodness, or this coming year, that's when Neptune will enter Aries for the final time. We're not going back into Pisces after that. The end of this sort of era with spirituality. Think about how widely accepted it is now. It's common. Practicing is like something, hello, we're on the internet. We talk about it all the time. You know what I mean? It's something that is around us. It's integrated into our world. You can walk into like a random brand name store and there's candles that say Scorpio on it. Like, it's kind of crazy, to be honest. Now, with Neptune moving into Aries, that means we're entering into a different era. And Neptune, when it goes into a new sign, we see that spirituality shifts and changes a little bit. Now, Aries has to do with war. Okay, it's not only about war, so we're going to talk about some of the other aspects, but I do want to cover this specifically at the beginning because over the previous, 3 years, I want to say about 3 years, one of the main things that I help people with is getting their altar set up, getting their ancestors of the highest elevation, okay? And for me, the way I would speak this to, worded encompassing love, truth, free, honor, glory, elevation, gratitude, reverence, justice, magic, spirit, liberation, free, and love. Those ancestors, all right? I get really specific, so that's how I teach it too. I've been helping a lot of people get their practices set up, started so that they can have their work as it needs to be. Spirit's been having me help people with their initiation. It's been quite the eye-opener, foundation, fundamental setting time. Now, when we get into Neptune and Aries full force, one of the things to look at, one of the things to pay attention to, war isn't always worth it. Look at all the arguing that spiritualists do on the internet. I'm not saying that it's not warranted and not justified all the time. What I'm saying is sometimes, okay. So Neptune and Aries, it's going to teach us a lot about how to use our gifts with spiritual warfare, why to use them, do we even need to, when is it necessary? Which this is not me trying to take the power away from you because you know what, sometimes it definitely is. All right, so let's just, get straight on that. Okay. And also how to be sneaky when it comes to arguments, battle, victory, war fronts, you name it. Is it resistant a little bit? Okay, well then there's probably some tension of battle, opposition, something, even if it's very tiny, going on. So that's one thing. The other aspect of Aries that we need to talk about, couple of them. Harvest, okay, beautiful, love that for us. Also, our mind. We're going to talk about that one last. That one I think is the craziest, but we're going to talk about the harvest first. Harvest being when to harvest, how to harvest. I'll also tell you, okay, as someone with a Saturn in Aries and a South Node in Aries too, that's true. Unexpected sacrifice is akin to both Pisces and Aries. So knowing when to take a step back from a situation or harvest something from a situation, from a relationship, from work that you've done, dynamics that you're a part of as well. Knowing when to harvest so that it's not harvested for you. Knowing when to harvest, spiritually speaking, so that the harvest doesn't go bad. You can't let the plants sit that have grown fruit on them for too long. Otherwise, the season's going to change and the fruit is going to be gone. So knowing when to harvest and how to harvest, harvesting is going to be a really big theme. Abundance of harvest. What does that look like? People don't go to war. Okay, if we're talking about the first thing we were talking about in Aries, people don't go to war for no reason. They go because they have something to defend and something to fight for. Okay, so more of that in the background. While there's boundaries and protections and victory stuff going on the front. And then the mind stuff, okay, I think this is the craziest part. I said it once, I'm gonna say it again. I think this is the craziest part. The amount of a couple different things. Okay, if you're a spiritual practitioner, the amount of spiritual gifts that are gonna open up, don't have the words to describe it yet because we haven't lived it, okay? But it's going to be a lot. It's going to be kind of crazy. The other part about this that I think is going to be kind of strange, we're going to start to think about spirituality very different. The world has integrated it differently, okay? We set ourselves up in society throughout Neptune and Pisces. And now our rhetoric and our logic and our perspective mentally about the way that we view spirituality and practice and practitioners and the tools that we're using, etc., right? There's so many layers to it. That's gonna alter. Oh my God. Okay. That's crazy to me. We're also probably going to see a lot of new beginnings when it comes to spiritual practices. People picking up different things, starting different things, putting together different systems, especially in the first couple years as Saturn is in Aries with Neptune. Different systems of spiritual practice. We could see like pseudo religions. I don't know if I want to call it pseudo, but like religion stuff or like structure stuff that may not last forever, but will help us to set up this new era of Neptune. Because Neptune takes 14 years to transit each sign, it takes a while to get around the whole entire chart, and it's leaving its home to go start a new journey, which means that practitioners are going to set up a new era. Okay, so religion stuff, but it's stuff it may not last for like, thousands and thousands of years, but will be influential for other structures and systems that get set up if it does last for thousands and thousands of years later on. Baby steps. Okay, baby steps before you take big jumps and big leaps. That's what this next era is, spiritually speaking, for the coming hundreds of years, which is crazy, but it's the truth. So if you're a practitioner and you've been practicing, you're getting your practice set up until January 26th of 2026, we're gonna still be in those final transitions of spiritual practice, foundations, fundamentals, at home, Neptune, Pisces related topics and practices and experiences. And then when Neptune moves into Aries, the new era officially begins. We got a taste of it this year in 2025. Personally, I am a Mars person. I love Mars energy. However, it can be a lot. Okay, so just to give everybody a heads up, this is what we're working with. We have a new era in front of us. There's a lot of new spiritual practices about to be born. We're going to learn how to protect it. We're going to learn when to sacrifice, why to sacrifice, how to do it, okay? And how to protect the gifts that we have. Okay, well, gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep up the brew that you do. I for sure will too. That's what we do, we brew. And I'll talk to you soon. Also true.